Hello everyone, welcome to World Cricket Chat. I hope you can hear us because today we don't have a mic, so hopefully you'll be able to hear Sunir and I very well. We have just come out of the game between India and Sri Lanka, which Sri Lanka won, and there are lots of happy Sri Lankan fans. But how did it go for you, Sunir?
It went well for me, but I don't think you are a very happy Indian fan. So, Shruti, today we'll start this episode of World Cricket Chat with your opinion about what went wrong for India.
That's absolutely right. I am not a happy Indian fan, and I have like multiple reasons going on in my head about that. I'll begin with the first one. I feel that the position in which India were when they were batting, they definitely should have scored maybe 20, 25 runs more. I thought maybe a good 245, 345, 350 is what was looking likely. I mean, I'm not even stretching it. I think they got. Sorry, I'll let you continue. I'm too excited.
Which is what a lot of fans would have reckoned as well. And there were questions asked of Virat Kohli in that press conference whether he thought that India had enough on the board. And these questions were not, this was not just a one-off question, these were multiple questions asked in various ways whether he thought he had enough. And Kohli was very vehement about the fact that, well, at the luncheon break or at the mid-innings break, he thought that he had enough on the board. And well, if you look at the statistics, only one other instance of a score that big having been chased down at the Oval before this, and all the ODIs that have been played at the Oval. So I know stats don't count for a lot here, but when you look at a score of 320, you would want your bowlers to defend it, say 8 times out of 10, and this was one of those other 2 times where those runs did not get defended, Shruti.
And I think you also look at the match situation, and which is why I felt, we are 20, 25 runs short. But then let's move on to India's bowling. If you're saying about defending a total like this, I want your opinion on this first before I jump in as a fan again.
I think there were a few lapses in the field as well. The fielding was not up to the scratch. Bowling wise, you have to again give it to the Sri Lankan batsmen. They lost just 1 wicket to the bowlers. There were 2 runouts, obviously, which brought India back into the match. But at no situation, at no point during the match did their required run rate go much over 8. In fact, at the midway stage, it never touched 8, I think. Even when it was ballooning up at one stage, you had that second wicket partnership. Gunath Halika playing his first match of the tournament. He was not there in the squad, in the Sri Lankan squad. He was brought in as a replacement for Chamara Kapugedera, and plays the first game and scores what he scores. He also bowled well to begin with. But coming back to your question, whether India could have done something different, well, again, I'll quote Virat Kohli. He said that there are days when you bat well and bowl well, but the opposition plays much better than you do, and you've got to give it to them. There are 8 teams in the tournament. It's called Champions Trophy for a reason, because all 8 teams are champions. And according to him, this was one of those days when Sri Lanka played like a champion side. I personally think that the bowlers could have done a much better job. I also think that there was a time when Virat Kohli and Kedar Jadhav were bowling in tandem, probably trying to get the overs from Jadeja and Hardik Pandya out of the way. Could have brought in Umesh Yadav earlier, just when they lost those 2 quick wickets. Could have got in Umesh Yadav, could have bowled Bhuvneshwar Kumar. But then he saw what happened even when they came in towards the end of the innings. The batsmen really took the game away from the Indians.
That's right. It was strange to see Kohli bowl there. A lot of us were surprised, and it was, in fact, like you said, 3 of the wickets were run out. But where I was disappointed is I didn't really see death over bowling. I mean, when we know a team is scoring easily, why can't that gear be changed by our bowlers? They're supposed to do really well at that. I mean, we've seen Bumrah do that for the Mumbai Indians as well.
Yes, Jasprit Bumrah has done it. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, in fact, has done it a lot of times. He has become a good death over bowler where He bowls those Yorkers right into the slot, and we saw that there were a lot of length deliveries bowled by the Indian bowlers, and that was a problem. And again, Virat Kohli was asked about it. Virat Kohli was asked an interesting one. He was asked whether India made a mistake in not going in with two spinners instead of just Ravindra Jadeja in the hindsight again. And Kohli, who had been defending his bowling all through that press conference, said something very interesting. He said that, you can play one spinner or you can play five. If the bowlers don't bowl well, then, well, it doesn't matter. So, in essence, he was kind of hinting at,
They didn't bowl well.
at least Jadeja did not, and we saw that Jadeja, his figures were not that great. 6 overs for more than 50. He did not bowl his full quota of overs, despite all the cheer that went for him in the ground. And I
I'm
think
telling you, the problem is the sound system. The Oval sound system isn't great. We don't get to do the Ravindra Jadeja cheer loud enough.
Shruti, would you like to do that for the fans?
No, not in this video. Maybe another one. Maybe when I gain some courage.
Yes, Shruti loves that particular part of the Jadeja cheer. But I think this is not the time for it.
This is not the time for it. But moving ahead.
Especially given that Jadeja did not bowl too well in this game. But moving ahead,
Sunday.
if India wins.
It's a possible quarterfinal. The next two games of Group B are possible quarterfinals.
Exactly. They are, in fact, virtual quarterfinals. India plays South Africa on Sunday, and the winner of that game goes through to the semi-final. The other game is between Sri Lanka and Pakistan, and that winner also goes through to the semi-final. Having said that, there is always that possibility of rain, and that possibility, if it happens for the India-South Africa game, India will end with a better net run rate than South Africa, in which case India will go through, and the winner of the game between South Africa and Sri Lanka and Pakistan will go through as well.
So South Africa could get hurt by rain again.
South Africa could get hurt by rain again for the second time in this tournament, and for the umpteenth time across all tournaments.
But let's just see what happens here. And definitely Sri Lanka played really well. India will definitely want to pull up their socks back on this ground on Sunday against South Africa. And we should be back then as well.
I'll be there, you'll be there, and so will World Cricket Chat.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.